And just like that, we're back. The Flex Zone, ready to wreak havoc through your airwaves. We are the Flex Zone, the only show you get your sports how you want it, when you need it. Again, only place that you can get your sports how you want it, when you need it. Our home, conveniently, Fox Sports, 1340 AM, people. I'm your host, Mikkel Ramos. Usual suspects in the house tonight, starting with my left. Hello.
Left side, best side, same face, same place. Byron, your boy, at BKD_TV.
Keep it moving, player.
Crevonte Hurd, that's CREVONTEHURDE, Twitter and Facebook, and on Instagram, Crevonte_Hurd.
Last but not least, the man that happens to be, who are you?
It's your boy Dre, Mr. One and Only. IG, Black American Dream. Facebook, Andre Melton.
I like that name.
I had to change it back.
He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh,
He's
man.
back.
Anyways, I wanted to give you some information. You know, we got to get rid of some house rules. Go like our Facebook page, The Flex Zone. Follow us and comment on Twitter and Instagram at The Flex Zone 1. If you have any questions, ideas, or possibly want to be a guest, send us an email to the flexzone1@gmail.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tonight's Show. We got to get into some sports and politics, I guess we can call it that. And the NFL preseason is here. It's amongst us. Get some words on these guys and how they feel about it. Let's go with that first. The preseason, people. Preseason. On the top of our list, on the top of our agenda, we got to talk about something very unfortunate. On the top of our preseason NFL agenda, it happens to be the team that everyone loves, America's team. Their quarterback, he's out of there, baby. Tony Romo hurt again. Crickets?
I mean, well, it was bound to happen, I guess I could say, because over the past couple of years, he's been an injury-prone guy.
You're right. Tony Romo hurt again. Looking at, about 4 to 6 weeks on a recovery?
No,
6 to 10.
6 to 10 on a recovery.
He's not coming back.
And what's crazy is they're still saying that he may start the season.
Let me.
What? No, they not.
Jason Garrett said that
Jason Garrett is tripping.
So obviously
Jason
they're
Garrett
trying
to get him killed.
He said that he's played with this injury before.
He's trying to get him killed.
Well,
he has 2 divisional games, the first 2. You're trying to get him killed.
Okay, so this is my first question about Tony Romo. And they're trying to rush him back. And they're trying to do what they did last year. At this point, just let the man sit out, right?
Look, the Dallas Cowboys, we seen what they were able to do without Tony Romo, and it wasn't much.
1-11.
So they need Tony Romo back ASAP, even if he's not at 100%. Look, 70% Tony Romo is better than no Tony Romo out there.
No, because if you play him he's not even 70%. If you play him at 60%, you're going to end up having a 0% Tony Romo.
He's going to be out there catching Pokemon, but throwing interceptions?
Well, I mean, and Byron can allude to this. They have the best offensive line in all of football.
And it's funny that he keeps getting hurt.
Who made this offensive
For them
line?
To have the best offensive line, it's funny that he keeps getting hurt. But please continue.
Murray wasn't hurt. He just ran himself down in the ground, or the Dallas Cowboys did, right? But the best offensive line in the NFL, correct?
The injury was a fluke injury. You see that he tried to slide, and he just slided awkwardly. That's all it was.
He didn't slide awkwardly. He got hit.
But when he's trying to go down the slide, his back doesn't slide to the grass.
An injury?
What happened? You see that when he slid, he's at a sit-up position.
No, because he got hit. Did you not see the play? Did you not see the play? He got hit before he completed the slide.
No, he's in mid-slide. He just
Can we please pull up that injury
video?
Byron,
I got a question for you, my brother. If the record was for America's team last year due to injuries, at this point they have another casualty so early in the season. My only question at this point in time would be, what's the excuse now? What becomes the excuse when the Dallas Cowboys don't measure up again? Do we blame the injuries again? Because now you only have one guy you're missing. You got everybody else in tow. What is the excuse now if the record doesn't represent what America wants from America's team?
Sadly, Tony Romo is as fragile as fine china. And just a sad reality that has come to it. He's an excellent player, in my opinion, but you cannot depend on him to stay healthy. And having a back issue as we've seen in various sports, is something that lingers on. And sadly, again, for Tony Romo, this could possibly be a career-ending injury as well, because 6 to 10 weeks, that's pretty much most of the season. And then if he comes back, is he going to be 100%? Probably not at his advanced age. But I think Cowboy Nation needs to hold off on the, giving up on the season, because if you looked at the preseason this year, the best player I think in the NFL preseason-wise has been Dak Prescott. Looking at how he's played behind the offensive line, showing some improvements he's made from college, being able to throw from the pocket, reminding a lot of people of Donovan McNabb, a lot of comparisons with his delivery, his size. He's a little bit bigger than McNabb. And Ezekiel Elliott played last week against the first team of Seattle. Looked very, very good. Looked like he's here to stay, and definitely holding up those sentiments that he might be the best player in the draft. I think the biggest question with Dallas, though, is their defense. Can they stop anybody? And with half their players suspended for weed, that'll be the question. And like Cavante said, they'll be tested early. 2 divisional games, so we'll see.
It's always something with the Cowboys.
But that's what keeps them. That's what keeps them aloof. That's the thing that you love about American team. There's always some type of controversy. It's never we haven't spoken about football.
But that's the thing. Like, if you're a rookie quarterback, you couldn't be in a better situation. You got one of the best receivers in football. You have a veteran tight end, Jason Witten, a rookie stud running back, an O-line that's going to protect you, and Dak Prescott can run, so you don't have to worry about him getting hurt.
I understand that, but what happens when? Okay, one of the things they say about Redskin fans, about to a degree, is that we believe that we're going to go 101 every year. We're going to believe it's our Super Bowl season, blah, blah. I divert all of this to Cowboy Nation because every year it's supposed to be a Super Bowl year. Every year it's the top of the NFC East. Every year they're the team to beat. With that being said, okay, fine. Tony Romo goes down. You have Prescott. Fine. What happens when the gas of him being so good and him playing so well behind that offensive line and doing all the things that he does, what happens when he actually starts looking like a rookie? When I say looking like a rookie, he throws and makes certain decisions on the wrong games.
Well, granted, we haven't seen him play yet. The preseason, I don't put any stock into that because once he starts getting game planned against, that's when we're really going to.
A lot of people are.
That's what we're going to really see what he's about. Right now, it's like he may be great against the Giants on week 1. Who knows? But I tell you, once people start game planning against him, then we're really going to have to see. But like Byron said, he has a really stud running back, great offensive line. So he's going to have to really lean on Ezekiel Elliott on this offensive line to get him through this because I don't think he's going to win any games for the Cowboys. And if you expected him to do that, you're sadly mistaken.
But, I mean, this is a team.
You sound sad. Is this your team this year?
Whatever. Like I said, this is just a team that just is always in some type of controversy. I mean,
it's the Dallas Cowboys.
But, I mean, I'll actually take that over getting caught for stealing cologne and a pair of drawers.
That was your boy.
He ain't my boy. I ain't stealing no drawers. Times ain't that hard.
Let's continue to stay down the NFC East path.
Wait, go ahead. One quick thing. Guys, Dak Prescott is about to start week 1. Who would have thought out of all the quarterbacks selected, he would be starting week 1? Because Carson Wentz is injured. I think they say he's day-to-day with the ribs. Jared Goff.
He third string.
I think, he's not even second on the depth chart. And who else? Paxton Lynch. A guy by the name of Trevor Siemian,
7th round pick,
is gonna start. Is gonna start for the Denver Broncos, and not Sanchez.
With that defense, I might could start with that.
What is the tale that becomes the tale of the Dallas Cowboys season? Do they shock the world? Do they stay in the thick of it?
I just think the NFC East, which was wide open already, is just even more wide open.
But it's funny you say that because some people do not think that it's as wide open. They're coming into this, the Dallas Cowboys are going to be at the top of the division, take the division.
But
everybody
I don't
else
think
be
that's
5
everybody's fact. I think a lot of people are actually drinking the Redskins Kool-Aid. Kirk Cousins quietly has had a very good preseason, so he's looking like he's taking that next step.
Yes,
I don't know who it was, but I did see that we were predicted to be at the bottom of the division. It was supposed to be all the Eagles, the Redskins, and the Giants were supposed to have the same record.
People don't have the Philly really doing anything.
And then Dallas is supposed to have this immaculate runaway.
But I think the Redskins are still a lot of people's picks, especially with the acquisition of Josh Norman.
I want to say 2 out of the last 4 NFC East titles have gone to Redskins by way of divisional games that had to beat the Dallas Cowboys.
It's definitely, now you could say, I know we'll talk about NFL previews next week, but the Redskins have to be the proverbial team to beat based off of what you've seen and the team that's healthy.
We're going down 95 South. Ronte, I got to talk to you. Josh Norman had some things to say about Odell Beckham Jr., had some things to say about Roger Goodell. He's getting whacked in practices, but hey, to the least of the worries, this is what we need from our men, right?
Well, see, the issue. Well, my thing is, which comment or which of his comment do you want me to address first?
Okay, let's first talk about Odell Beckham Jr. and how he has a target on him, and he just needs to be prepared, and now he can't wait to play him.
I expect
three times, twice.
Yeah, twice. Well, twice now since he's in the division.
Well, he's going to put so many yards up on Norman. It's going to be like he played 3 times.
He has a target on him.
Well, I mean, to a certain
not
degree.
Not only that, he was trying to get recruited by the Giants, and they treated him like trash, and he ended up leaving emotional due to it, and they went down the list. And what's so funny?
I'm just laughing because y'all totally missed what Byron said.
What did you say?
No, what he said about him putting yards on the water, y'all heard him.
When I said Odell Beckham will put so many yards on Josh Norman, he going to think he played him 3 times. I'm telling y'all.
I love the shot. I love the shot, but to a certain degree, Odell Beckham does have a target on his back. He's one of the, dare I say, the young elite receivers in the league. So you have to game plan against Odell Beckham. So he does have a target on his back. But my thing is, now to him in practice, if you're gonna get burnt, please do it in practice and not in the game. I'd rather Deshaun Jackson and Pierre Garçon and whoever else cook him in practice and him not get cooked during the season all day.
But
because in Norman's defense, I think you said it too, he's not going to be in situations where he's on an island like that a lot.
Right. Yeah,
so
because
that has been overblown. And Deshaun Jackson is healthy, people. People forget.
It's scary. And he even said himself, Deshaun Jackson's speed is still elite. He still can run a 4.33.
And this is the only guy I know that can. Okay, that game against Dallas. Not only did he fumble on his way to the touchdown, I don't know if Dallas scored. I don't know if they had. That game was the most dumbest game because nobody could score nothing but a freaking field goal. So they went back down, scored, and he runs all the way from a punt return back and makes his mistake before. Now everybody's celebrating in FedEx Field, and you forgot that he fumbled.
Right. But that's the impact that he has and his big playability, because you have to account. That's like Deshaun Jackson. That's somebody you got a game plan for, because when he's not there, man, our offense is just as average as they come. But with him in the game, that's at least two people, 4 eyes, maybe even 6 eyes are going to be on Deshaun Jackson because he's a big playability.
Deshaun Jackson, Jordan Reed. How do you like it?
Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing because Jordan Reed he's the man in the middle. Like I said, I think he's the second best tight end.
You like Mike?
I think he's the second best tight end in the league. I mean, we'll get into our tight ends, our top 5 tight ends, but I guess I'll throw that out there. I think Jordan Reed.
And he's growing for tight end. Now NFC East. NFC. I think he's about top 5, top 3.
He's a guy who had to overcome injury as well. But when healthy, like I said, behind Rob Gronk, I think he's the best tight end.
Gronk. You just gotta say Gronk.
And he's so big, but he's quick.
With his speed, he's like a receiver. I don't even look at him like a
That's what I'm saying, because he splits out wide and he gives corners work. He gives the slot corners work. And there's no linebacker out there outside of probably Navarro Bowman who can probably check him legit one-on-one. And I don't even think he could do that. So we got Deshaun Jackson on one side, deep threat, and then we got somebody in the middle of the field that can dominate in the middle.
And then you cannot forget.
Then we got Pierre.
I was saying, you can't forget about the old guy that just happens to be there, but is still doing things.
And I didn't even mention our rookie,
Josh Dawson, who may be hurt though.
Because he has an Achilles sprain, I think. He didn't tear.
Not a tear.
He didn't tear it, but he hasn't been practicing, so I can't really expect too much of him. But
they're not expecting much out of this running game. They're not very impressed.
Matt Jones just got hurt, so I don't really know what to expect. That's our one down spot.
Let's talk about the team nobody's really talking about in the NFC East, and it's kind of peculiar because you're used to. This is the thing about the NFC East, man. For long periods of time, if we go back to the Donovan McNabb era, the Jeremiah Trotter era, the Deshaun Jackson era, you talk about guys like Shady McCoy. Philly, football in Philly meant a lot. Better yet, football in Philadelphia meant a lot to the NFC East. Yet, we're not talking about the Eagles.
I mean, well,
and when we were talking about the NFC East, we talk about preseason, we talk about the regular season. You're primarily talking about the Redskins, the Cowboys, and all the Redskins, the Cowboys, and all their extremities. The Giants aren't even going to look like nothing. But in the NFC East, where they've been the Eagles have been superior all years gone.
Well, because Brian Westbrook ain't walking through that door. Donovan McNabb ain't
and
walking
Brian
through that
Dalk
door.
is not walking through them doors either.
Back during those eras, the Eagles had one of the top defenses in the league.
Yeah,
I said Jeremiah Schroeder.
Yeah.
Remember the chop?
Wow,
that was old.
Brian Dawkins,
B-Dog.
Yeah.
Those boys ain't walking through the door no more.
Shady is not. Shady is not.
I wouldn't walk through the door either. You seen them play? I got better things to do.
Like
Shady
retirement.
I mean, until the Eagles legit at that time, you had a great coach in Andy Reid. You had Donovan McNabb, who was a phenomenal quarterback during that era, and I mean, T.O. was on the squad at one time. Like you said, B-Dog. He had Westbrook. I mean, they were able to formulate a team at that time, and now it's just
and my boy Asante Samuel was on that team for a little bit.
He was.
He was on that team for a little bit.
I thought for a second I thought you were going to bring up Asamoah, because I was about to say that was the
No, we're not.
not.
We're trying to forget. We're trying to forget that.
Well, shoot, he fine now. Look who he's sitting next to you every night.
I was going to say he's living. I'd be a
how
stay-at-home
to carry
dad.
Washington.
Right now, the Eagles are in total rebuild mode, and that's why nobody's even talking about them.
Whose fault is that?
Chip
I mean,
Kelly.
I know.
That's not even hard to blame.
You had to ask that question.
Somewhere Andy Reid's like, I told y'all.
Man, Andy Reid got
even
his
though
own
it was
thing
time,
going on.
it was time.
Yeah,
but,
it was time. Just like the Giants, it was time for a change. Even though the system isn't going anywhere, it was time for a change.
Let's go.
And Andy Reid is doing great things in Kansas City as well.
Oh no,
Byron?
Sleeper team.
Very sleeper.
They're always sleeper, but can't get over the hump.
Well, they need to fix the quarterback position.
Their best player got hurt last year, Jamal Charles.
The quarterback position.
Oh man, but that's why.
But their best player got hurt last year, Jamal Charles towards ACL.
Let's continue to go down the NFC East path. You said targets. Odell Beckham Jr. has a target on him. Yes. However, how much of that target is emotional? Because now everybody knows how they can get under your skin because Josh Norman sold the world.
That could. I wouldn't even really put too much into that. That was one thing. He got high head once. I think he's over that. You know what I'm saying? He knows he's great. He understands that, and hopefully by now he understands that he has a target on his back, and people are going to try him, and he needs to block it out.
Staying NFC. Let's talk about the South. The dirty South.
Panthers. We can move on.
No love for your Falcons?
No love for that's your dog.
Let me get this straight.
Is he gonna be healthy?
It's not your Falcons.
He hurt his ankle. Is he gonna be good?
He's okay.
Did you make a call?
He's okay.
Because
AJ actually tweaked his ankle as well. It's all good. It happens. These are tall guys. These are fast guys.
Look.
It happens. But god dang it, guys, you get it right. That is not my team. Okay, just happens to be
the team where
that
your dog
my
is
favorite player is on that team. I wish him great success, but we know how Matt Ryan is on the second half during the season.
Tampa Bay not making no noise?
What?
No. Ever since they got rid of my man,
the Buccaneers not gonna make.
I wish.
Ever since I can't even. I
can't even root for the Bucs.
And I love Jameis, but
I can't even root for the Bucs.
Yeah.
But I love the Mike Evans. Mike Evans is still a really good receiver, and Vincent Jackson, he's kind of a little long in the tooth, but I still like the receivers overall. Doug Martin is coming back into his own, and they have a new guy. They have a new guy at tight end, Safarian.
Oh yeah, Safarian. Yeah. Well, he just hasn't been healthy.
Yeah, but their defense, they'll probably be last again.
I mean, some people were questioning because Cam didn't look too good his last preseason game against the Patriots.
Oh, what, man? What?
Let's talk about the chip on the shoulder, or how much of the chip on the shoulder you got to get off. What kind of team does the Carolina Panthers need to be coming, or do we need to save that kind of question for the show next week?
Man,
but okay. Anyways, what kind of Cam Newton? What kind of Patriots? What kind of Panthers team are we looking for here?
That's the question.
I mean, do they don't have to be that? Do they have to be that dominant? Do they have to be as dominant as last year and got to find a way to seal the deal? Can they lose these games? Can they show that they're human? Can they actually celebrate? Can they actually not celebrate? Can they show some emotion? What can they do?
They showed that they were human in the Super Bowl. I'd tell you that much. But they have to secure their division. I'm sure that probably won't be hard this year. So step 1, win the division. Step 2, playoff game. They have to start over. Now, I do like that the Calvin Benjamin's back. That's huge because Ted Ginn was their number 1 receiver last year, and they still went 15-1. I think that's pretty outstanding. They still have a top defense. Josh Norman's not there, but I think they'll plug and play. And special teams, about even.
Ted Ginn up here dropping balls, man.
Because he's not a receiver. He's not a receiver.
Dropping dimes, dropping balls.
But this season, though, it's going to be harder.
Of course.
Because the teams, I mean, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Packers, I mean, we can still keep going down the list of teams in the NFC that will really give this team like a run for their money. For the Carolina Panthers, I think for them it's Super Bowl or bust. They were so close and to be able to get to the big dance, but I think they just ran into one of the elite defenses in the league, and it was a defense that we didn't put them in the same category as like the Ravens or the 85 Bears, but that defense was a stout, and they were able to beat Brady, and then they were able to beat Cam. I mean, that was a defense that really carried Peyton Manning to his second championship.
I just think biggest question is the Super Bowl hangover. Teams that lose in the Super Bowl a lot of times have a tough season the next year. I don't know what it is, but it'll be a wait-and-see thing. We don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we got to think Carolina has to be the favorite in that division, but Super Bowl hangover, and like you said, Dre, teams in NFC are getting better.
Let's play a little game here. We'll throw some teams out. We're going to talk about some stuff randomly, not even by division. First up, Patriots. We already know 1, 2, 3, 4. He's out of there. Tom Brady will not play the first 4 games of the season. Probably not a big problem to Patriots Nation. However, the Patriots, still unarguably one of the teams to beat. But what can we – I mean, there's nothing uncommon not to expect out of them, but what to expect out of them. How do they deal without Tom? How does everybody else react to that? And what kind of season do we see them? Are they hoisting another one? Or looking to hoist, anyways.
I mean, with the New England Patriots, they're always there. They're always in the conversation.
At least the AFC Championship.
At the very least, the AFC Championship, which is crazy that they've been doing this dominance in the AFC for so long. But for the first 4 games, 2. I think the magic number is 2. If they go 2-2 and Tom comes back, they'll probably win 11, 12 games.
Man, they could go 0-4 and still make it to the AFC Championship game.
I'm sure because you got to look at their division.
Not only that, they still got Tom Brady, who looks like he has not lost a step at all.
And they got the best tight end in the game.
And they got Martellus Bennett.
And Bill Belichick is still your head coach.
I'm saying all the pieces is still there. You know what I'm saying? So they're probably still win the division.
You don't want to make them angry. They've made them angry.
But I do like the Jets, though.
I think they're going to run away with that division.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Talk about the Jets. Okay, got another team to talk about.
Won 10 games last year. I don't see them winning 10 again.
The Bills. Rex Ryan's. I don't know what Rex Ryan's
after this year, he gone. Enjoy him while you can, I'm telling you.
Listen,
Shady is having a very awful time.
Yeah, it seems like he's having some trouble.
Shoot, they went and got Reggie Bush.
Wow. I saw that. And he's like returning punts and stuff now. So I don't know what's going on there, but
desperate.
But
Rob
the Bills,
the defensive coordinator.
But that's good. I'd rather have him as a defensive coordinator under Rex Ryan because together they're a lot better than Rob Ryan is apart.
Only the Ryans have to work together to be successful. If they apart, they can't do nothing.
No, Rex is fine on his own. It's Rob that has problems on his own. Yeah. I mean, Rex has a past. He's been with the Ravens. He had a Mark Sanchez team. How many AFC championships? 2 AFC championships. Slowed on defense because we know it wasn't because of Mark Sanchez. And he goes to the Buffalo Bills, who has a pretty good defense as well.
Keep this train moving. Throwing some more at you. We got to talk about the champs, the Broncos. Brocky says bye.
Until we
quarterback.
Until we know about
Von Miller, we know.
I think that I actually still think this team's going to be all right. I look at the 2000 Ravens. I mean, that defense is elite. They didn't lose, but they lost Jackson. They lost a few people, Trevathan. But I think they still have the pieces. And I think by the end of the year, you will see Paxton Lynch take the starting job and carry them far enough. I don't know if they will still win the division because Oakland's coming. Kansas City's there.
Kansas City, yep. Kansas City's coming as well.
Let's keep it moving, shall we? Keep it moving. Gotta talk to Hawks. Seahawks. Seattle.
Ooh,
LOB.
Who's gonna be the running back? Who's gonna be the running back? Question mark. Here's running back.
Christian Michael and Thomas Rawls, if Rawls is ready.
Look, Russell married Sierra. He will be.
That means he's going down. That means he's going down.
No,
that means he's going down, big fella.
That means that's
There's
a turning point.
But I think Russell Wilson, you saw him start to ascend. He's right knocking on that door of elite. He may take that jump again this year.
And also, that defense is, well, at least that secondary is still there.
And he got his receivers. They're all healthy. Lockett,
it's always good.
Baldwin, Richardson, and Jimmy Graham's coming back.
Jimmy.
He started playing well.
I'm about to say, I feel like at the cusp of when they finally figured out how to play Jimmy,
season was over. Season was over. And then he got hurt.
Anywho, going down, the Vikings. Gotta talk about man that's AP.
I really like the Vikings.
The sleeper you said last year, correct though?
I was a field goal away from being right.
Right. Oh, my God.
That defense is ferocious.
I mean, you can't play the Seahawks. They got Jesus with them every playoff.
I really, really like the Vikings. The question mark here is how fast can Laquan Treadwell get acclimated to this offense?
Good question.
And he has time because, with AP, they're still a run-first team. And can Teddy Bridgewater... Can he make the throws when the game's close?
And let's not forget, they won that last game in Lambeau.
Well.
They won that last game in Lambeau against you guys' bad man and won the division. So
keep it moving with the bad man and discount double check. The Green Bay Packers.
NFC Championship.
Jordy.
They go to the NFC
Jordy
Championship.
Nelson.
They go to the NFC Championship.
That's going to be a fun battle with them and the Vikings. But they got Jordy back and Randall Cobb's healthy.
Hey, listen, how many games did the Packers win last year?
At home or away?
They won 10. It doesn't matter.
Well, they play every game at home. So
I wasn't saying at home or away.
Every game's in Lambeau.
Listen, they won 10 games at home, and Aaron Rodgers was actually struggling, and he only threw 10 interceptions.
That is scary.
I mean, they beat us and ran away.
And almost beat Arizona. Almost beat them.
Yeah.
And
as much as Arizona tried to get, or Carson Palmer tried to get that game away, still came out on top.
Larry Fitzgerald, Arizona? Still didn't think of it.
Carson Palmer is just, I want to root for the Cardinals so bad, but...
Just like you want to root for Matt Ryan, make him land on your team, right?
Don't nobody want to root for Matt Ryan.
No.
Who said that? Don't put words in my mouth. Listen, I love the Cardinals. I love the Cardinals.
You was on the train, bro.
Yes, I was. I was driving the train.
He made the train from scratch.
I was driving this train, and then Carson Palmer throws like 4 interceptions and throws it all over.
I hopped off just in time.
He made the trade and had
all
room
aboard,
for everybody to hop on the board.
Speaking of trains, on the other side of this break, we got some more preseason action for you. One team that's always on the cusp of greatness and just kills themselves and does it to themselves. We got to talk about the team that happens to be the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll be back. Fuck on. We're back. I hope you missed us. Again, I would like to let you know that you're tuned into the Flex Zone, the only place that you can get your sports how you want it, when you need it, on the illustrious, the great Fox Sports 1340 AM. Now, a team that self-destructs in the best ways, going down and continuing this preseason road, the Cincinnati Bengals. Hey, playoff game.
Well,
they almost got past.
As you guys know, I was on that train too. Actually, Dre, weren't you driving that train?
You was on the Andy Dalton train.
I was on some form of train when I was with the Bengals. I tried to get Byron to hop on, but I don't know what happened. He left before
I buy a daily pass. I ain't got money for a weekly. You gonna go day by day?
Yeah, well, week by week in this case. Yeah. But I mean, this team has so much potential and can be so great. It's just when it's Monday night, Sunday night, or the playoffs, they act like, mainly Andy Dalton, acts like they forgot how to play football.
So
I don't know what's on.
What are these things in the ceiling?
Like lights, light bulbs.
So basically, you're saying when the lights are on,
yeah,
they are not a team. They cannot play. They don't know how to win.
At least it seems like, as a team, I say I don't know if they forget how to play. I don't know if it's nerves. I don't know what it is, but Sunday at 1 o'clock, they're great. Sunday at 4:05 or 4:15, they're great. But
talk about 8 o'clock.
But 8:30, 4 or like 7 o'clock, whenever the playoff games are.
Oh, you got to count Thursday night.
Sure, whatever night game. And if they have a night game, if they don't act like they don't know how to play. But this team has so much potential because they win double digits every year. You know what I'm saying? And they have a top 5 defense, in my opinion. Especially that D-line is crazy.
The self-destruction was a violent self-destruction in this one. They just mentally, the mental capacity was just gone.
It was pretty bad.
Something you can fix, Byron? Or are we going to see the same team?
Well, they still got the same coach, still got the same quarterback, same players. Pretty much same team. Like Avante said, they'll win 10, 11 games. Probably the prohibitive favorites, in my opinion, in the North, just because of it'll be a lot of tension with Pittsburgh. We don't know necessarily what they're going to be, but hey, this team is going to get to the playoffs. Question is, can they win a playoff game?
Why does the preseason? We talk about NFL preseason. It's the only preseason that means so much in any sport. Why?
Shoot, first goal from the preseason is get out of there healthy.
Well, the reason why this preseason is so like intense and so needed because with football you have to get acclimated to playing it again because you practicing every day against your own teammates. It gets old. It gets old really, really quick. And with you doing 2-a-days and things like that, you get tired of seeing the guys with the same jerseys on. So you have to play these preseason games at least a little bit to acclimate it to how the action is and how the game speed is.
I think what makes football preseason different from that of the NBA or Major League Baseball is the fact that we just wait so long for football to come around and just
hit
glimmer, any dim. Anything. Don't even have to be a full bright light, just a dim of football, and we're happy.
I don't even like the preseason.
I mean, I'm not a fan of the preseason either, and I mean the NFL has talked in the past about shortening it to extend the season.
That's interesting you say that. Should the season change from 16 to 18?
No, because I mean it's hard. You see people getting hurt right now off of preseason games like Tony Romo.
Nope, don't
so
like it.
No, I mean any inkling of stretching the season, these guys don't need it. I mean football is different as opposed to other sports. The wear and tear on your body is not like boxing where you have months to recover in between fights or UFC or MMA. I mean these guys
it's not like basketball either where you actually can play today and then play tomorrow, you know what I'm saying, and still be okay.
Yeah, these guys, I mean, it's week to week, and the injuries that they sustain are ongoing for a lot of periods of time. So, I mean, and it's such a short season,
right,
that you don't have that recovery time like you do in other sports.
Right.
So, I mean, also, it means every game literally is almost sudden death because one game could make or break your season.
Yeah, sure can. And on top of that, I just hate the fact that, I mean, I love Thursday nights are growing on me, but it just sucks that team that plays on Thursday night, 9 times out of 10 probably played on that Sunday before, so it's only 4 days. So
that's like having a back-to-back on your schedule. So you mean tell me I got to work the night before and come in the morning?
Right, exactly.
And work a double the next day.
Right.
Like, come on, bro. Oh, man, football season. Anything else that we need to iron the kinks out, man?
I like what the Raiders are doing.
I was about to say Raiders.
I really like
Chargers.
what the Raiders are doing. They're really on the up and ups. And Amari Cooper.
Teams to watch out for. There you go.
Yes, I said it a couple weeks ago. They will win the division.
Brightens up and everything.
They will make the playoffs. The Jacksonville Jaguars are coming.
Wait a minute, talk about the residential guy. We gotta talk about home. Ravens. We're here in Baltimore. We did not discuss them, sir. Yes, you do. You do. I mean, you gotta talk. What you talking about leadership?
Can we stay healthy?
What are we gonna see? What team are we gonna see? I mean,
I don't. It's a lot of unknowns, so I really do not know what I'm gonna see. But on the third preseason game, which preseason should be getting rid of pretty much because you only watch one game and that's the third one. Flacco looked pretty good in a short time. Ronnie Stanley, the first round pick, has been the most impressive rookie so far this preseason, probably beside Dak Prescott. So he's looking like he could be the mainstay at left tackle. Defense looks improved with Weddle. Brashard Perriman's going to play, but Benjamin Watson, injury, first play of the preseason, unfortunately. But Mike Wallace, like he's going to step in pretty well. This team could be solid, but we just don't know. I still don't see them. I see them as an 8-18, 7-9, but I don't think they're up there with the caliber of the Pittsburghs, the Cincinnatis, and New Englands. But time will tell. I mean, that's why they play the game. They could very well be a surprise team and sneak into the wild card. I know my man Dre said they're going to make the playoffs.
Hey,
listen, I don't think. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. To your point, I really like Jacksonville, but they're still very, very young. I think I want to give them like another year or two before I say that, because you know who I think is going to win the division? The Texans.
I knew you.
I don't believe in Brock.
The Texans.
I don't believe in Brock, and J.J. Watt is. They saying he might play the first game, but he's not 100%. But they do have the weapons, though.
I mean that.
I love that. I like the receiving.
If we're talking about the Texans, I mean J.J. Watt alone is a monster. But I mean, if you're able to get, he hasn't played it so long, I can't remember this guy's name.
Jadeveon Clowney.
He was playing in the preseason
because he's been in the cloud.
Because there's an APB out for you, brother.
We were looking for him since he's been drafted.
Amber Alert.
If you can. If you can stay
healthy, he had a signal.
If you can stay healthy, that Texas team, I could see them winning.
I just don't believe in the quarterback.
Let's talk about the new guys on the block.
Wait a minute. I gotta talk about the hometown team.
Oh yeah, you do.
I still believe in this Baltimore Ravens team, despite the Bengals and the Steelers being in that division. Now, I've never said I thought the Ravens would win the division, but I think that they do have a really good shot at the wild card, and I really believe in this Baltimore Ravens team. Like Byron said, if everybody is healthy, watch out for this Baltimore Ravens team.
Listen. Come on, baby.
Real
wild card.
Yeah.
Wild card. That means 3 teams will have to come out the AFC North.
John Harbaugh doesn't miss the playoffs often.
Did he miss it last year?
And when the Ravens get into the playoffs,
did he miss it again before that?
He did.
My question: Are the Baltimore Ravens? Are the Baltimore Ravens a team just trying to get that it's going to get back in the thick of the things in their division, or are they a team that's looking like they're going to go to the Super Bowl, possibly make a way?
No, man.
The AFC is wide open though, for all intents and purposes.
And a lot of teams do not want to see the Ravens, despite last season and the injuries that occurred. I mean, you still got a quarterback by the name of Joe Flacco, who has been able to lead them to a Super Bowl when everybody in the world thought that the Ravens team that year that the Ravens weren't going to make it.
Can I say something? I know this might sound crazy. I might not be on the show next week, everybody. But I think the Cleveland Browns are actually headed in the right direction.
They are.
No, absolutely.
And I think they may not win a lot of games this year. They got a brutal schedule. It's brutal. But they are going to be a lot better than people think. Hugh Jackson, RG3, they may have something there. Terrell Pryor.
Yes.
Just looking
and
great.
Guess who else? Josh Gordon.
He will miss the first 4 games, but he will be playing. Gary Bonich.
That's good.
They may have something.
Tight end. Okay.
Yeah, they have something.
They have some.
They
some
do.
weapons.
And don't forget the defense.
Their defense was always, you know what I'm saying, competitive.
Let's talk about the new kids on the block. L.A. It never rains in Southern California for the Rams.
It's about to be raining for that. It's going to be raining for a couple years.
LA's in trouble. Well, the Dodgers the only team that you can root for. And the Sparks.
Wait a minute, Cravante. You want me to get on Jeff Fisher, or you going to take it because...
I'm going to give you that one. I'm going to give you Jeff Fisher. How does he still have a job? I'll start. How does he still have a job, Dre?
How in God's name this man has a job is beyond me. You fire Lovie Smith in Tampa, but this man, Jeff Fisher, has been able to get away with this garbage product that he's put on in Tennessee, and he's carried that same garbage with him
across
the way
the country.
to L.A.
Across the country.
And he gets a new team.
He ain't been good since Eddie George.
When they moved...
In the reach?
When they moved, they should have moved on without him. That's what should have happened. Because this man... We talk about the Bengals not being able to get over the hump. At least Marvin Lewis will take you to the playoffs. This team hasn't even... sniff the playoffs yet.
They have to get that offense together. And I mean, Todd Gurley is a step in the right direction, but Case Keenum is about to be your quarterback.
Let's talk.
Don't forget the guy from Baltimore,
Tavon Austin.
Who just got broke off.
But they actually went 7-9 last year, as bad as they were offensively.
But the issue for them in the past, I'll admit, has been the quarterback.
The defense is elite.
The defense is
really good.
The defense is elite,
really good.
and they do have weapons on offense. They just needed a quarterback. So we'll see what happens this season.
And I do like that guy at safety, TJ.
Oh, TJ McDonald.
Let's talk about your favorite Super Bowl pick. Well, some of you all's favorite Super Bowl picks. The Colts.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
I feel sorry for Andrew Luck.
Me too.
Me too.
Because he's gonna get killed out there, man.
Y'all talk about Tony Romo, but this is another guy who his offensive line will let him down every time, and Andrew Luck is not going to be able to carry this team like we thought in the past. Plus then they gave him old weapons too. It wasn't like they had fresh young blood in there. They gave him basically people with AARP cards on the way out. Andrew Luck deserves so much better than what he's getting.
He does. And it's like they completely overlooking the offensive line. Like, I don't understand. You have a franchise quarterback. As soon as you pick him, you need to start getting that offensive line together.
I forgot to ask you, Steve Smith Sr., how's that going to go?
Oh, he's coming. You better ice up because he's coming for you. He's going to put on a show. I think actually the Ravens offense is going to be pretty fun to watch. This might be the best plethora of weapons that Ravens have had in recent memory, especially with Joe Flacco's quarterback. The defense secondary is a little shaky, and the pass rush of Terrell Suggs and Dumerville, but we'll see.
I have to ask. Black and yellow. Big Ben. Martavis Bryant.
For some reason, if you look at this team, they are, on paper, they're better than the Ravens, but the Ravens still find some way to beat them. Like,
Le'Veon Bell.
It's a divisional.
Le'Veon Bell.
That's all it is. But on paper, Cavante's right. They have the best offense on paper, hands down. Mm-hmm. But my thing with the Steelers is, can all those pieces collectively stay healthy?
No, you know what the problem is, Steelers? That god awful defense. It's that they have to get that together. And their first round pick, was it William Jackson?
Artie Burns, the corner.
I know they picked up a corner. I thought it was William, but that might have been the Bengals. But Jackson. Artie. Is he hurt or is he? I don't see much.
Well, their defense has been horrible, but they can't stay off the weed. That's the first thing they can do because
it's the whole team. It's like,
it's just something. I guess there ain't nothing else to do in Pittsburgh.
Wiz Khalifa got them lit.
And the Steelers, they have two very tough games to start out with that could define how the season's going to go. Redskins, week 1, which is going to be tough.
Is that a surprise? Is that a surprise if the Redskins beat them? Because to most
actually, not to give away my picks, but I actually think the Redskins are going to win that game.
Me too.
Me too. And the Bengals week 2, so we'll see.
Me too.
I think we have the Steelers could possibly go 0-2.
Wow. How bad is that? 0-2.
There's always a bad stigma around 0-2 because I think all the 0-2 teams have like a 0% chance of going to the Super Bowl or something like that. So everybody panics. Everybody hits the panic button when they go 0-2.
Anybody else? Any sparks? Anybody we got to put a plug on? Because we're going to move on.
Can we talk about the 49ers?
Please do.
What's going on with that? It's a lot going down. It's a lot going on down
And
there.
it's a good thing that you say that because we need to talk about, first of all, what had happened to the ex-quarterback. I don't know what
we don't know who's going to be the starter.
No, it's Blaine Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert.
And when we talk about that, we got to talk about what's going on down there. Going on down there has nothing to pretty much do with football at this point in time. Colin Kaepernick. And Colin Kaepernick looks unhappy. When you watch Colin Kaepernick in the past, he was in shape. He looked like he was eating. He looked like he was happy, joyful, bright. Now he's looking skinnier and dark. And look at his hair, and he looks
like the hair.
I think it's a sign of him growing up.
Growing up?
No, I hate that.
I hate the hair. But he's looking like
he's looking like if D was here, Carlito Caribbean cool.
Wow. Speaking of D, happy birthday, D.
Happy birthday, my brother.
How old do you turn, Cavante?
He's 46. I think.
Oh, okay.
I think he's 46.
I didn't know that.
Not even a cheap shot. Just cocked.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, you talk about AARP shots. Shoot, we need a sponsor, bro. Hook us up.
We don't got enough candles.
He can up. Ooh.
Oh.
Jeez.
I'm done.
Oh, and the man
I'm sure he'll listen to the show.
I'm done.
The man ain't even sitting. Anyways, Colin Kaepernick refused to stand during the national anthem. His refusal to stand for the national anthem in protest of treatment of racial issues with minorities, and says he plans to continue to do so. There was an only players meeting on Sunday to discuss teams' views for it, and they say it's not a distraction. He says he's going to continue to do so.
Now, see, I like what the players did. They had a meeting just to make sure it stays on Fox Sports. It doesn't go to Fox News. I think that's really big about the players. And, of course, Colin Kaepernick was in the meeting. And if they say it's not going to be a distraction, cool. It's not going to be a distraction to them.
Let's talk about this, though. This is, we're talking about America being the melting pot. Colin Kaepernick, biracial, and he's biracial parents, correct?
Yeah. I believe so.
So for him to take a stance, you would consider him you wouldn't consider him a black quarterback. But
absolutely no. Because you know how it is. If you're a little bit black, you're all black. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say there was a couple of times. Way before the Black Lives Matter movement and his stance on social media in support of it, he actually was considered a black quarterback from many reporters. So yes,
it depends on what stance you should be.
So it's the same thing with Russell Wilson as well. He is considered a black quarterback, and neither guy hides from being a black quarterback.
Let's talk about the stance these athletes have been taking. We talked about the SBs. We talked about Carmelo, and especially Carmelo, because not only has he been the staple for it in the NBA, but he also took it internationally. In this whole movement and in speaking up on fair rights, we had the Black Lives Matter shirts, but athletes now, and the interesting thing about it is Jamil Hill made a comment. If you're going to crucify Colin Kaepernick for standing up for his rights, why didn't you say it about Muhammad Ali when he did it? It was revolutionary. Now these guys you've been waiting for these guys with all these money to say something, and you don't want to give him that power no more. Take it away.
I hate it. Jamel Hill hit it right on the head. I hate how you want athletes to do something but criticize them about how they go about doing it. If he chose to use that avenue, so be it. He has the right to, and he has the freedom to do so. So why? It's just always shots to be thrown, and you're not going to please everybody.
And this is the true definition of how you're supposed to do things in America. He's protesting. He's using his First Amendment right, freedom of speech, because nobody's forcing you to stand up during the national anthem.
Right.
And what the things that he's articulated, he's absolutely right in his stance on why he refuses to stand up.
I have what he said
actually.
Anthem. I actually have what he said. Let's talk about what he said here. He says, and I quote, "I am not going to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color. There are bodies in the streets and people getting paid leave and getting away with murder. If they take away football," and this is the point that I love the most, because we always talk about the check. If they take away football away, my endorsements from me, I know that I stood up for the right thing.
Well, at least he knows his consequences.
And let's talk about the national anthem. He's not standing for the national anthem. He refused to put his hand over his heart to represent this country. Yet, in the Olympics, Gabby doesn't raise her hands at all. I don't think she did that inexplicably. She didn't do it to cause any harm. She just did it to look at the flag and representing her own way.
I wasn't even aware. I wasn't even aware about that.
She kind of got some scrutiny for not raising her hand for the flag.
But Colin just flat out.
He just sat down. He just sat down. Wow.
Said, I'm not going to do it.
It's a touchy subject because I feel like he's not getting the support that he needs from the players. I mean, some guys are coming out, but I still feel like guys are still taking shots.
Nobody worth noting though, a big name.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And the thing is, with him doing this, it puts him. It seems more genuine because right now he's on the decline. But at the same time, it would be helpful if there were more big name players to kind of help push his angle.
How
those big name players got endorsements?
How would this would have played out differently if he had done this in the year they went to the Super Bowl, and he was actually not a top quarterback in the league, but at least he was respected enough on a team like that and having the coach that he had.
Who knows?
I mean, Jim Harbaugh recently had to apologize for some comments about what he said about Colin Kaepernick and his role with the not standing up during the national anthem. But like I alluded to earlier, it seems more genuine only because he's on the decline. So he's at a different angle with it. But to your point, Cravante, when you were saying about players with endorsements, we already said this before. Somebody like a LeBron James, what are you really going to do to LeBron James?
That's what I'm saying.
You don't want to do
I'm
anything
saying
with
that you
LeBron
would have to
James.
get that type of upper echelon athlete to do that. You know
But then also the NBA gives you more freedom to do things as opposed to in the NFL. So
that depends on
the rules seem a little different in the NBA.
Very true, but it also depends on the caliber of athlete you are, because Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, and LeBron can do that, but
a backup quarterback on a team that's not going to win
Brock Osweiler
6 or 7 games.
if he was black.
can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I can't really think any names off the top, but pick out 3 other guys' names that's not those 3 I just named, and they probably can't do that.
Right.
Jim Harbaugh says, I acknowledge his right to do that. I don't respect the motivation or the action.
What's the motivation of that?
About Colin Kaepernick. But then he had to apologize through Twitter, of course. I apologize for misspeaking my true sentiments. To clarify, I support Colin's motivation. Is his method of action that I take exception to.
So it's fine to stand. So basically, what Harbaugh is saying is fine to stand up for your rights against your country if that's not what you proclaim, but stand up and put your hand over the national flag. I mean, for the national anthem. We've been doing this for quite some time now. That's disrespectful. Pick something else.
And he's not the only former 49er to actually come out and say something against Colin Kaepernick. There's an offensive lineman on the Vikings, and he took exception to what Colin had to say as well. Alex
Boone, yeah.
But I mean, like,
he could have did something worse. That's like
He could have been
it could have been a lot of worse things.
He could have threw his helmet at the something.
And he could have did anything else, but it was like
he's going about it peacefully.
Shoot, I thought his legs was just hurting. I was like, oh, maybe he just didn't want to stand up.
Right.
He's going about it peacefully, quietly. And
he's not disrespecting any property. He's not tearing up flags. He's not hurting
He's not
nobody.
burning anything.
And then also he's saying that, people who are saying that is disrespectful because he's not honoring the men and women who have fought in our country and our armed forces.
But do we on a regular basis?
But he has said several times that he respects the veterans. He appreciates the fact that people have fought in our country.
Yeah.
And that he's known people on a personal level. His stance is just that. Yeah.
Yeah, he said nothing about that.
Yeah, he's never said anything that. His stance is the racial issues that continue to divide this country, and it's stuff that has the genesis of our country, that these are issues that we've come a long way, but we haven't come as far as we've needed to come over the years.
Let's go back to that Jemele Hill statement. And she said something to a degree earlier, but it had nothing to do with a racial thing. And when Kevin Durant went and did what he did in Golden State, everybody's saying, he shouldn't have went. And she's like, well, why are you crucifying him? We want our players to do certain things. You demanded him go somewhere that we can get a championship and do what he had to do. He goes, now you had a problem. In loose translation, as fans, as spectators, you want them to do certain things, and then they do it, and then it's an issue.
That's what I'm saying. And to Colin's point, he never any way, shape, or form disrespected the men of the armed forces. He never said, I don't respect them or I don't stand what they stand for. He actually said why he did it, and people are still coming at him for the so-called disrespect to the armed forces. He said nothing. It's completely the the BS that's happening with the police.
It's the elephant in the room that everybody knows is going on.
That people act like they don't see.
Exactly. And that's the problem. We don't acknowledge the issue, so the issues will never be changed. The fact that certain people who, are in certain areas, they don't want to acknowledge what's going on, but it's evident it's going on, not just with, blacks, but Hispanics, people of color, different, nationalities. America, like Dre said, is supposed to be the melting pot. This country was built off minorities, so the essential part, the elephant in the room, is they aren't treated equally, and it's the simple fact that they know it's true.
How ironic is all of this after the Olympics? When you go to the Olympics as an athlete, you basically fight for your country. You actually fight for the supremacy to say that we are the nation's best in athletics. We took the stance over there. I did speak about Carmelo Anthony internationally and all that because they were asking him questions over there about that stance. I said it again. But at the what's up?
No, I was just going to say that.
I didn't finish the question. Go ahead. I got thrown off.
It's all good. What I was going to say is that let's not get it twisted. Look, all of us in here, we're American. We love.
I'm proud to be American.
We love the country that we're in. And Stephen A. Smith said, I know Kravante has to look when I talk about Stephen A. But it's something that Stephen A. brought up, which is true, though. Black people, though we have issues within this country, we still like to be American and the freedoms that go on here as opposed to, some of the issues that other countries have to deal with. Absolutely. That we don't have to deal with here in America. The issue is just that we, as Byron stated earlier, we just want the fair treatment and the same opportunities that other people have been granted over the years. That's where Colin Kaepernick and his stance is.
That's funny you said it because back in the day when Martin Luther King, and we just had that anniversary of the the anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr. and that, what is it?
Speech.
Yes, the speech.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah,
it was just, and the funny thing about it is, they were fighting to be Americans. They were fighting for how much they loved their country. And in making stance against America, and in making these stances as Colin Kaepernick is doing, he's basically fighting for his right to be an American and wanting America to change and be the best America it can be so he can represent it. Don't get it misconstrued, people. But the show.
I just hate, my last point, I just hate how when you run and jump, it's for America, and you're seeing that as American when you're, out there performing your athletic abilities or whatever. But then when you speak up and open your mouth, now you're black.
And right? I bet if Colin Kaepernick was taking the Super Bowls every year, they wouldn't be this upset.
Sure wouldn't.
Probably wouldn't. Outcast. He looks like the black sheep of the family. Anyways, the show, people, is over. Next week, NFL, the National Football League Flex Zone preview show.
It's that time?
Oh, yes.
It's about that time.
Yes.
Giving our week 1 picks, division winners, MVPs, and projected Super Bowl picks. Stay tuned for that one, please. We want to thank True Sounds for our theme song. Don't forget to like us on our Facebook page, The Flex Zone. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Flex Zone 1. If you have any questions, ideas, or possibly want to be a guest, send us an email to theflexzone1@gmail.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Flex Zone. Tonight's show is executively produced by Andre Milton. Our senior producer is Crevante Hurt. Our host, you heard me, it's me. Our production team is Sophia, Terrell, Bree, Dwayne Allen, Hugh Scott, Brian Waters, Ty, see you in the back player, and D. Happy birthday again. We want to thank all of you for listening. And I'm going to say it like I say it every week. I don't care if it doesn't rhyme. It's mine. I'm going to like Kevin McKell on the show. Byron, what are we? What?
Like Romo, we gone.
Peace.